there's a very good chance you'll be dead. What's outside?
Monsters. You swore.
Hi guys, welcome back to Patten Time. Today Joshua, Simeon and myself. It's a bit late, but we have watched The Last of Us Season 2 and there's a lot to discuss. That's hence why Simeon and Joshua are here. I didn't necessarily play the game, but from a standalone point of view, I really like the show. So we just got these game experts on this review, so we can touch on it and just explain how we actually felt about it. But once again, thank you for joining with us for this review. Please like, comment and subscribe. Please comment and let us know if there's anything that you liked about it, you didn't like about it. I think they addressed a lot of things from season 1, but we can touch into that a little bit more. With no further ado, let's just go straight into this review on Last of Us Season 2. Right, so as I said, from a standalone point of view, not knowing the games, it was very good. I remember in Season 1, they didn't really have much of the turned guys. There wasn't much of the scenes, but they did a lot more in this one. So yeah, is that a place to start? I don't know. What do you think?
You've got to clarify they're infected and not turned. So
right, not
being
affected,
obviously
sorry.
from a fungal virus that is actually present in this world today, but just not to that extreme. Season 2, yeah, there obviously is going to be a lot of feedback from the fans that obviously there wasn't still enough infected.
Yeah.
They had 2 very good scenes with the
bloaters as well.
Yeah, village and then the train scene.
Yep.
But it still feels like the world around those 2 scenes don't have enough infected in between. Whereas obviously, as by playing the game myself,
there's way more.
you see every, let's say, different scenario has either the scars, the WLF, or the infected in it. So there's always some sort of presence.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the series. It just feels like they're just horning in different infected scenes where just to please the fan, they don't really want them there, but they should have much more than just, let's do a big action scene.
Because once that action scene, the story we never really saw any more infected really.
Yeah. So, well, we did see when Jesse saved Ellie
yes.
with the stalkers.
Yeah.
The stalkers were great, by the way. I liked how they did the stalkers. Obviously, also spoiler warning. The spores was fantastic. How they brought that in. Yeah. Obviously, it's late. Obviously, they're from the game that was from number 1. But understanding that they didn't want too many characters to wear masks or whatever, they didn't bring it in. But the introduction of spores was great. How they did that. What do you think?
Well, when it comes to the second season specifically, I wasn't a fan of the second game, and I'm still not today. So I wasn't going in to expect to like it or anything. So,
but the show in itself.
Got no problem with it.
I think it did really well.
It's just.
I wouldn't say that there's no problem with it. Well, I've played the full game.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's going to be upset that Joel dies, but in reality, what he did was wrong, and he should have died.
Yeah, he was going to die.
Obviously, we can always change the narrative where he should have died at the end of the game.
It's just how he dies.
And they depicted that scene really good.
They depicted the scene well. The only problem is where they decided to keep Tommy out. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Tommy being there made it better in the game.
Yeah.
But obviously Abby as acting in the TV series was fantastic. But I think having Dina there instead of Tommy made it worse. But obviously they gave us that action scene, and the action scene, if it was put in a different episode, would have been there, instead of it trying to overshadow that scene, I think it being in the same episode kind of took it away from trying to play against each other with the two scenes. But Tommy should have been in that scene, and I feel that obviously in the games Tommy went after the killers first, and then Abby and Dina followed him. Again, I don't feel that needed to be changed.
Because they changed that, didn't they? Because it was...
I don't think it needed to be changed, but again, it's to be fair, it is quite a big deal because Tommy's a completely different character. His motivations are different. Not being there when Joel died, he didn't feel like he should have gone after. Bearing in mind they're different, played different characters, different actors.
And you would have thought, that Tommy would have hurt Tommy as much as it hurt Ellie.
Yeah, but obviously in the games they were both there. In the TV series, only Ellie was there. When they get to Seattle, they again they're gonna skip through bits. It's a whole game compared to 7 episodes of a TV series. Again, the chemistry between Dina and obviously Ellie was terrible. Obviously in the game, Ellie is far capable to deal with anything that she, like I said, in the game, everything that threw her. Dina seemed much more capable in the game. Obviously, Jesse's a likable character. I don't think his character had any difference in the TV show or the game, obviously minor. But Ellie was obviously portrayed to be more jokey and more light-hearted and less capable, and obviously it did hurt the TV series. Everyone shined around her, where she was left, and obviously being the main character, that's why people will feel that it wasn't a great fit. Like I said, even Abby was great in the TV series with little time she had. Obviously, season 3 will be about her. Joel's always great. So it's just obviously Ellie's portrayal. Obviously, it might not be her fault, but it just wasn't fit. It didn't fit, especially with some scenes. Obviously, we're not going to mention any particular, but some scenes were just very...
not needed.
Needed, light-hearted, and just not fit for the,
So,
the role.
What do you think about the very fact that they're probably going to use a whole of season 3 on Abby? When I think that's the same as the game in a way, because you took everything away from the real source, and then so they're going to put a whole new season for this one thing.
Well, personally, probably. I think they should have split Last of Us 2 into 2 games anyways. Whereas obviously you play off the death of Joel, but have that towards the end of the game, and then make the third game the end part. But obviously not playing the games, we go through Abby's side of the story, and then we also go through another section. So I think season 3 will just go through Abby's storyline, and then season 4, if they choose to do it, will be based on the final part of the game. So it's again having season 2 part 2 of the game be based on 3 different seasons, where part 1 was only based on season 1 doesn't make me a bit happy about that. But again, rushing through this part of the story will be a detriment to the TV series, bearing in mind when they do season 3, they do need to put more infected in more sporadic moments rather than in just certain scenes. The scene with where Ellie shot the 2 011 members sorry, I can't remember their names. Owen and Mel. That's Owen and Mel. I think personally I did like the fact that she didn't cut the baby open. But it's like...
But in the game she did.
No, in the game she died way before she was told. Or a minute before she was told that she was pregnant. In the TV series, she was dying, and then she told her, I was pregnant, so you can cut the baby out. Again, the game scenes are fantastic, so we're not even going to take away from anything or say it's better, but obviously in the TV series, she has time to think about what she's done, where in the games, Tommy and Jesse come straight away after she does it. So there's no real time to really process. So obviously in Abby's part of the game, she finds a map on the floor, because Ellie has in the TV series has processed what she's done, I don't see her still leaving that map behind. And that's the little changes where you think, Tommy would have been there, he would have consoled her, he wouldn't have to rush out, so he would have saw the map as well.
Okay.
But obviously I don't know if they're going to change that, obviously, because they've changed other bits. But,
Okay.
she sees the map and
To where to actually...
so where the season 2 ended off, obviously she finds them at the theatre, etc., because she saw the map.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. Obviously, certain scenes such as Ellie going off to the Scars Island, which in the games it was Abby who had that scene when she was strung up. Unnecessary, completely unnecessary. You don't need stuff like that just to show us what's Abby doing at the same time. We didn't need that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good for what it, seeing Nora's scene was good. I liked that scene. Again, it doesn't fit Ellie as the character she's portraying, but the scene was done well.
Yeah. There was quite a good... I think there was quite a few good scenes. Really good scenes. But yeah, I don't know, episodes 1 to 3, I can't remember exactly which ones, but episodes 1 to 3 was more to do with the infected, I would have said. And then the rest of it was literally just the story between Ellie trying to catch everybody and so forth. That's what I felt anyway. But there was drama in it. Maybe some bits, like Simeon said, that, it was just filling a gap. But overall, it was pretty good. And look forward to see what they're going to do with season 3, really.
It's just making sure they can't change Ellie's character now, because I feel they've already
changed it.
They've already changed it too much.
Yeah, they've already.
Obviously, if you've played the games, you obviously heard and seen so many YouTubers react on saying she's so different from the games.
Yeah.
That's not her understatement. That is a pure fact that she's too different from the game. And this story is harder to believe when she's so light-hearted, because it's a revenge story. So
So she's not supposed to be jovial. She's supposed to be really. Yeah.
So it's just making sure that I don't feel they're gonna mess up Abby's character. I feel actually Abby's character will actually be one of the highlights of the TV series, because most people didn't like her character in the game. But
Were you surprised that I don't think Joel had a lot of cutscenes? Flashbacks. So literally when he was dead, I think there was only one episode really that he had a lot of cutscenes, but apart from that, he was done. He was out of the show.
In the game, he had, let's say, about 4 or 5. So the scene when, obviously, they've changed most of these cutscenes. Obviously, the museum scene they kept in, the scene where Ellie goes back to where the Fireflies died or Joel killed them, they took that out.
So there weren't a lot. That's the point. There weren't a lot.
They changed it with the Eugene scene, which I think was unnecessary. But Ellie finding out Joel lied about the Fireflies way wasn't as good as in the games. Never. Obviously, scenes where they're checking houses and even the Joel scene where he starts crying in the TV series, telling her the truth. Yeah, it happens at the end of season of the part 2 game, not at the was it 3rd or 4th episode.
So maybe there's going to be more cutscenes than even in the third episode season. Maybe we'll see.
They don't. Thinking about all the cutscenes they've done in this season 2, I don't think any would fit now that they've gone to Abby's part of the story.
Okay.
And since that cutscene at the end of the game was already shown, I just don't think there can be any more cutscene. So he's not going to be in season 3, most likely.
Yeah.
Okay. But
which is strange, but he got killed anyway. So
yeah. So overall, I thought it was okay. Again, the good bits were really good, but the bad bits obviously were really bad. Again, The Last of Us 2 was always a divisive game. I enjoyed it. It's a game that I want to replay based on watching this though. So I hadn't replayed it since. So it would make me. It is.
It makes you wonder what. Okay, well that's done something then. If it makes you want to. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys felt that the need to go back and replay the game, but you know, doing these live action things, it either goes completely wrong, or they're more or less there, but obviously they have to change things for live action. But please let us know what you felt about it on a whole. As I said, I felt it was pretty good. Simeon and Joshua, you know, it could have been better, changing things that they didn't need to change, but nevertheless, I think it was quite good. I don't know about the reviews. Did it do well? I don't know if you heard.
I don't think it's done well.
Yeah.
Especially there's a lot of hate going on.
Because I think
Okay. So
I think a lot of people, there were a lot of the watchers or the audience didn't have no knowledge of the games at all. So
like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when people saw that Joel died, they probably just cut off.
What's the point?
Which is exactly what happened in the games when people playing the games. When people saw that Joel died,
lost the whole lot.
They just lost it.
Okay. Well. They've made it into. They're going to make it into another season. So we're gonna watch that as well and see how they do it. And no doubt we'll come on and give you our review of that and how it went. But please let us know again what you felt about it. Please comment below. We've got our experts here that can actually respond to you, with any views and comments. But we appreciate you taking time out to listen to this review. And hopefully what they do with season 3 will just change and put a new spin on it, and it will turn out quite well. Probably unlikely, but we see how it goes. So that's it for our review. Appreciate your time watching with us. If you're a new subscriber, please like, comment and subscribe. And once again, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for taking time out to listen to this review, and we'll catch you on our next review / reaction. Patten Time out.